Sometimes the hardest part isn't being alone, it's feeling like no one ever really stayed.
God sees the emptiness you try to hide, and today, He wants to meet you right there.
Take a deep breath. God is here. Before we pray, allow these words to gently reach your soul. There are moments when silence becomes heavier than noise, when the absence of someone feels louder than any voice. You try to stay strong, to keep going, but deep inside there's a quiet ache that doesn't leave. It's not just loneliness. It's the feeling of being forgotten. And even when surrounded by people, your heart still whispers that something is missing. And with this in our hearts, let us pray. God, here I am, standing in a place I don't always know how to explain, feeling surrounded by silence that echoes louder than words, carrying a weight that no one seems to notice, trying to remain strong while something inside me feels tired and unseen, holding together pieces of myself that feel like they've been left behind, remembering moments when I felt close, when I felt held, when I felt like I truly belonged. But now it feels distant, like a memory fading slowly in the background of my life. And even though I keep moving forward, there's a part of me that feels stuck, waiting for something, waiting for someone, waiting for a sign that I am not forgotten, that I am not invisible, that my presence still matters. Because sometimes the silence becomes so deep that it almost convinces me that I am walking through this world alone. And in this moment, God, I bring this feeling to you, not with perfect words,
but with an honest heart that simply needs to be seen. God, sometimes the loneliness doesn't shout, it whispers. It settles quietly into my thoughts and makes me believe that I am walking through life unnoticed, that my voice doesn't echo anywhere, that my presence doesn't truly make a difference. And in those moments I begin to withdraw even more, building walls I don't always realize I'm creating, protecting myself from feeling the same pain again.
but at the same time, distancing myself from the connection my heart still longs for. And I don't always know how to break this cycle, how to open up without fear, how to trust without expecting disappointment, because part of me has grown tired of hoping and being let down, tired of reaching and feeling nothing in return. Yet deep inside there is still a quiet desire to belong, to be seen, to be understood without needing to explain everything. And so today, God, I bring this hidden part of me into your light, asking you to gently touch the places I have kept closed for so long. God, there are moments when the weight of feeling forgotten becomes almost unbearable. When I look around and wonder how life keeps moving for everyone else while I feel paused in a space no one else can see, carrying emotions I don't know how to share, holding back tears that no one would understand, pretending to be okay when inside there's a quiet storm that never fully settles. And I try to be strong. I try to convince myself that I don't need anyone, that I can handle it on my own. But deep down, I know that I was not created to feel this alone, not meant to carry everything in silence. And even though I've tried to ignore it, to hide it, to push it aside, the truth remains that my heart longs for connection, for warmth, for a presence that stays. And so today, God, I come before you without defenses, without pretending, just as I am, asking you to meet me in this place where I feel unseen and remind me that I am not forgotten. God, I confess that sometimes I have believed the silence more than I have believed in your presence, that I have allowed the absence of people to shape the way I see myself, making me feel less important, less worthy, less deserving of love and connection. And without realizing it, I started carrying a quiet heaviness inside me, a feeling that maybe I was meant to walk alone, that maybe this emptiness was something permanent, something I just had to accept. But deep inside, there is still a small voice that refuses to completely give up, a part of me that still hopes, that still longs, that still believes there is more than this loneliness I feel. And today, God, I bring that small remaining hope to you, fragile as it may be, asking you to protect it, to nurture it, to remind me that even when I cannot see it, I am still held, still seen, still known in ways deeper than I can understand. God, there are parts of me that grew tired of waiting, tired of believing that things could change, tired of expecting someone to stay and feeling the quiet disappointment when they don't. And over time, I learned to lower my expectations, to protect my heart by not hoping too much, by not opening too deeply, by pretending I don't need what I truly long for. But in doing that, I also feel like I lost a part of myself, a part that used to believe more freely, that used to trust more easily, that used to feel without fear of being left behind. And now I find myself in this place between wanting connection and fearing it at the same time, unsure of how to move forward, unsure of how to heal what I can't fully explain. But today, God, I bring this confusion to you, asking you to gently restore what has been worn down inside me and to teach my heart how to feel safe again. God, sometimes I look at myself and wonder when I became this quiet, when I stopped sharing what I feel, when I started keeping everything inside as if my emotions no longer had a place to be heard. And I realized that little by little I learned to silence myself, to hide my struggles behind a calm face, to carry burdens that were never meant to be carried alone. And now there are thoughts and feelings inside me that I don't even know how to put into words anymore, as if I've been holding them for so long that they've become part of me, shaping the way I see life and the way I see myself. But even in this silence, God, you understand what I cannot express. You see what I cannot show. And today I bring this unspoken weight to you, trusting that you can reach the parts of me that words cannot touch. God, there are nights when everything feels heavier, when the quiet becomes overwhelming and my thoughts grow louder than I can handle, when memories come back without warning and remind me of what I lost, of who left, of what never stayed. And I find myself reliving moments that I wish I could forget, feeling again what I thought I had already overcome. And in those moments, I don't always know what to do. I don't always know how to calm my heart, how to quiet my mind, how to stop the feeling that I am somehow alone in all of this. But even in the middle of these long and silent nights, God, I turn my thoughts toward you, asking you to be the peace I cannot create, to be the presence I cannot see, and to gently remind me that I am not facing these moments alone. God, there are times when I question my own worth, when the absence of others makes me feel like I am easily replaceable, like my presence doesn't leave a mark, like I was never truly important in the first place. And these thoughts come quietly, almost unnoticed, but they begin to shape the way I see myself, making me doubt my value, my purpose, my place in this world. And I start to believe that maybe I was meant to be overlooked, meant to stand in the background of other people's lives, never fully seen, never fully chosen. But deep inside, I know that this cannot be the truth you created me to live. And so today, God, I bring these distorted thoughts to you, asking you to realign my heart with what is true, to remind me of my value beyond the presence or absence of others, and to help me see myself through your eyes, not through the silence I have been interpreting as rejection. God, there are moments when I feel like I've been carrying this loneliness for so long that it has become part of my identity, as if I no longer remember what it feels like to be truly connected, truly understood, truly accompanied without fear of being left behind. And I catch myself accepting this as normal, as if this quiet distance is all that life has to offer me. But deep inside, something resists. Something refuses to settle for a life without meaning, without presence, without warmth. And even when I don't fully understand it, I know that this longing inside me is not random. It is a sign that I was created for more than isolation, for more than silence, for more than carrying everything alone. And so today, God, I ask you to awaken in me the truth that I have slowly forgotten, to remind my heart that I am not meant to live disconnected, and to begin restoring the parts of me that still remember what it feels like to belong. God, I admit that sometimes I have built walls so high around my heart that even when connection comes near, I don't know how to receive it, because I became so used to protecting myself that vulnerability started to feel like danger, and trust started to feel like risk. And without realizing it, I began to distance myself from the very thing I longed for, pushing away moments that could have brought light, closing doors before they even had the chance to open. And now I find myself wondering if I have been unintentionally contributing to the loneliness I feel, not because I wanted to, but because I didn't know how to do it differently. But today, God, I bring these walls to you, asking you to gently soften what has become hard, to carefully open what has been closed, and to teach me how to receive without fear, how to trust without expecting pain, and how to allow connection to reach me again. God, there are moments when I feel like I've been misunderstood so many times that I stop trying to explain myself, like my words no longer carry the meaning I wish they did, like my intentions are often unseen or misread. And over time, this created a quiet distance between me and others, a space where I no longer feel safe to fully express who I am. And this silence slowly became a habit, a way of protecting myself from being hurt again, but also a barrier that keeps me from being truly known. And deep inside, there is still a desire to be understood without needing to defend every feeling, to be accepted without having to prove my worth. And today, God, I bring this hidden longing to you, asking you to create spaces where I can be seen with clarity, where I can be received with grace, and where I can finally feel understood in ways that reach beyond words. God, there are days when I feel like time keeps moving, but something inside me remains in the same place, holding on to moments that never fully healed, carrying emotions that were never fully released, and I don't always know how to let go of what still hurts, how to move forward without feeling like I'm leaving a part of myself behind. And sometimes I wonder if I've been holding on to pain simply because I don't know what life looks like without it, because even the weight has become familiar and the unknown feels uncertain. But deep inside I know that I cannot stay here forever. I cannot keep carrying what is slowly draining me. And so today, God, I bring these unfinished places within me to you, asking you to gently guide me into healing, not all at once, not in a way that overwhelms me, but in a way that restores me step by step, breath by breath, until I can finally feel movement again within my own soul. God, there are moments when I feel like I've been waiting for something to change without knowing exactly what I'm waiting for, as if my heart is expecting a shift, a sign, a turning point that I cannot yet see. And this waiting sometimes becomes heavy, sometimes confusing, because I don't know if I should keep holding on or start letting go, if I should stay where I am or begin to move forward even without clarity. And in this space of uncertainty, I feel suspended, neither fully at peace nor completely lost, just somewhere in between, trying to understand what comes next. And even though I don't have all the answers, God, I bring this waiting to you, asking you to meet me in this in-between place, to bring clarity where there is confusion, to bring direction where there is doubt, and to gently lead me forward even when I cannot yet see the full path ahead. God, there are times when I feel like I have been trying to hold everything together for so long that I forgot what it feels like to simply rest, to release, to allow myself to not be strong for a moment. And I carry this quiet pressure to keep going, to not fall apart, to not show how deeply I am affected by everything I have been through. But inside, there is a part of me that is tired, not weak, but tired of carrying so much without pause, tired of being resilient all the time. And today, God, I allow myself to be honest with you, to admit that I need rest, not just physical rest, but a deep rest for my soul, a place where I can lay down what I've been holding without fear of everything collapsing. And I ask you to become that place for me, a place where I can breathe again, where I can feel held without needing to explain anything. God, there are moments when I don't even recognize myself anymore. When I look at who I've become through everything I've faced, and I feel both strength and distance at the same time. Strength because I've endured more than I thought I could, but distance because I no longer feel like the person I used to be, and I don't always know if that's growth or just survival, if I've healed or simply learned to carry things differently. And in this uncertainty, I sometimes feel disconnected, even from myself, unsure of what parts of me are still true, and what parts were shaped by pain. But today, God, I bring this confusion to you, asking you to gently reconnect me with who I truly am, not defined by what I've lost, not shaped by who left, but rooted in something deeper, something unshakable, something that remains even when everything else feels uncertain. God, there are quiet moments when I start to feel a small shift inside me, something subtle, something gentle, like a light slowly returning to a place that once felt completely dark. And even though it's not loud, even though it's not immediate, I can sense that something is changing, that I am not in the exact same place I was before, that even through the loneliness, something within me has been strengthened, refined, and held together in ways I didn't fully notice. And I begin to understand that even in the silence, even in the absence, you were present, working in places I could not see, sustaining me in ways I could not explain. And today, God, I acknowledge that quiet work. I recognize that unseen presence, and I open my heart just a little more, allowing hope to return, even if it's slowly, even if it's softly, trusting that what you are building in me will not be in vain. God, as I stand here at the end of this prayer, I realize that even though my circumstances may not have changed yet, something inside me has shifted, something gentle, something quiet, but real. And I understand now that I was never as alone as I felt, that even in the deepest silence, you were there, holding me in ways I could not perceive, sustaining me when I thought I was falling apart. And even though there are still questions, still uncertainties, still moments ahead that I don't fully understand, I choose to move forward with a renewed sense of presence, knowing that I am seen, that I am known, that I am not forgotten, and that my life carries meaning beyond what I can measure in this moment. And so I release into your hands the weight I have been carrying, the fears I have been holding, and the loneliness that once defined my thoughts, trusting that from this point on, I will walk not in isolation, but in the quiet awareness that I am never truly alone. May peace gently settle over your heart, bringing calm where there was heaviness and quiet strength where there was pain. May you feel seen, held, and accompanied in ways that go beyond words. And may every step you take from here carry a little more light than before. God is with you today and always.